doing
The
everything
language
for
we
attention.
use.
Language we use.
Died by suicide.
Just manipulating.
Power of language.
Minimizing.
The language that we
From everyone's perspective.
The language we use. What matters to me about language is I've had a lot of hard language used on me, and I know the impact that has.
Sometimes, even despite my best intention, I can say something that can be misunderstood.
So we're talking about language in the context of mental health, and it's effective for everybody to know how to use language.
Language is key to how we serve other people because it can invite people in or it can push people out.
Saying things like, you know what, you're gonna die, that obviously didn't want to make me come back.
The idea that I was doing everything for attention was really isolating because people didn't question, they weren't able to even try and understand. It was already an accusing space.
I felt a lot of judgment, and it was about the language that was being used about our family and around what was happening. So clearly I was doing something wrong as a parent, and that feeling of judgment was really strong.
There is more to language than just words. There's body language, there's body distance, there's your tone, there's your inflection, there's your eye contact.
When the right language is used and when good conversations happen, young people want to come back.
I think it's really frustrating for the parent that sees their child suffering. They may lose confidence in the team, and as the healthcare professional, you can also have all those feelings, and eventually I think things do snap.
Hearing professionals say to the families, they're just manipulating you. When I see those words coming along and guiding what's going to happen next to our family, I see the damage it does. I see the hurt it causes. And that child just needed to be believed, and that child no longer thinks that someone can help them.
Having friends that have died by suicide, when I hear somebody say, oh, you know what, they committed suicide, it's like they're committing a crime.
Well, I think the language that people use referring to an illness as an issue can be very minimizing.
So by changing that one word into, you know, that they died by suicide, for me, it was a lot easier to have those conversations.
The power of language to build connections with people is like a human being skill.
Because ultimately, we're all just people.
It's not just about young people, it's not just about the families, and it's not just about service providers. It's all three of those kind of roles working together to enhance mental health outcomes for children and youth.
A lot of communication in mental health would improve if we were able to just take a second and think what it might be like for the other person, what it's like for the youth, what it's like for the parent, what it's like for the healthcare professional.
One of the best things that ever happened to me was when somebody asked me, like, hey, what do you think you need?
Our young people deserve so much better.
I remember one of the first people that started to use a more supportive approach. And I kept going back to her and going, I just need you in my head all the time. And I think that's a shift, because now she is in my head, but it's me.
These people in my life, they have no idea how what they've said is held with me. That's where words, they can help or they can hurt.
I love that we always have second and third and fourth and fifth chances to say things in a way that are going to be meaningful. We can go back and do it different.